What makes a rock star? The first images that come to mind are big stages, loud music, roaring crowds. But according to the men and women at Rockstar Supply Company, rock stars are also in classrooms, working with teachers, and are doing work to improve their community. I talked with these musicians, artists, and teachers to find out more about what it means to be a rock star off the stage and in the classroom.
My name is Holly Munoz. I am a board member of Rockstar Supply Company. And I knew a lot of musicians and artists who didn't necessarily have this kind of civic engagement piece happening in their lives. They kind of play in bands, and I thought there's more we can do. So I reached out to those folks, and before we knew it, we kind of had this thing happening, and a lot of interesting people have come on board.
My name is Maria Cucharella. My position is an AmeriCorps Promise Fellow at Como Park High School, and I'm, I guess you would say, partnering with Rockstar Supply Company to bring in volunteers.
What do you think about the whole rock star image?
Are
your volunteers rock stars?
Yes, they are. I think it's great. They focus on also, I know, on a creative level.
Right.
But I do like that they believe so much in what they're doing, which is why they're doing it, and they're not getting paid to do it. They're doing it. They formed this on their own time. It's a beautiful thing. They're very dedicated, and they all make the time to come here. They want to come here. Some of the rock stars who came at first, who had done it last year, came and they're like, we're so glad we came because it reminded us why we're doing this.
My name's John Kim. I'm a board member at Rockstar Supply Company, and I've been involved with the organization since its inception, before it had a board. Yeah, I definitely think that that's an important aspect to the organization. This kind of glamour, or this idea of thinking about tutors as actually rock stars, as tutors as a cool activity, an important activity, one that artists and musicians should engage in. And so I think it tries to actively maintain that aura, I guess you could call it, by trying to make tutoring fun and cool. By having a lot of musicians and artists involved, it helps students, high school students, engage more with what we're doing. But also it helps to create a community of people that think it's fun and cool to be a participant in this undertaking, in this nonprofit.
My name's Tim Lee. I'm the Associate Director of Rockstar Supply Company. I serve as their AmeriCorps Vista. Any organization that's going to survive needs an identity, a cultural identity, and that identity is, oftentimes that identity is matched with the age of the demographic. I think the community that we're trying to draw from is, we typically characterize it as a demographic of 25 to 42. Usually creative, politically active, entrepreneurial, want things to get done. I think Rockstar is the product of this collective energy between a group of friends, and it's, to me, a response to the current dialogue in education. The current dialogue is very combative, it's very decisive, and Rockstar symbolizes a group of people who want to get up and do something about it.
What are we going to do? And then you realize, oh, we're doing it. We're here together, and we'll just keep doing what we can do to try and help improve educational outcomes for teens. And I feel like the volunteers feel like they're a part of this sort of contingency that shows up, and constituency that shows up at the high school at 12 o'clock, and kind of it's like a band, and you go into the classroom, and the kid so I think we are the kids are certainly know who we are, and that's a huge part of the work that we're doing, because we care, because we want to be there, and so that's the lasting impression that I think is really at the core of what we're doing, is that for most of these students, it's about attention. It's about someone just showing up and showing an interest in them.
I've gone to a school, and just through the school district, been put through a useless orientation and then thrown into a classroom where I was doing nothing,
Right.
and was doing things like filing, for a teacher. And then that's it. So they really try to build a community with the tutors that they recruit, and by having certain events and sending out newsletters and things like that.
So you say that Rockstar kind of makes its own
Yeah.
community.
Yes. Yeah.
Being a rock star isn't always easy. It takes a serious commitment to make a difference in someone's life. But Rockstar Supply Company does everything it can to make that difference possible.
I've been telling some people who have come in, it can be a little nerve-wracking, but it's okay. And once you get to know the kids, too, that
Right.
definitely helps. Mm-hmm. So you build a rapport with them, and then they know you, and they look forward to you coming. And pretty soon you look forward to coming.
Before Rockstar, it's pretty difficult. I walked in the classroom. Let me preface this. I wanted to be at Como Park Senior High School. My goal is to get teaching experience, to become a teacher. That was my goal, and it was difficult because teaching is tough, and especially tutoring. So imagine what you guys do, but doing that all day in random classrooms, and only one of you at a time. So I walked in, and the first thing they noticed was that I was young. I looked just like them. So a lot of times the teachers would, tell me, "Where's your hall pass?" I work here. Second thing, without Rockstar, there wasn't there wasn't a clear goal. Like, I didn't know which classrooms to focus on, and I didn't have. The third thing is I didn't have the support of other people who were creatively looking to educate kids. So I think after Rockstar, it was clear which kids I should focus on because they had more resources. It was easier to find my way around the school because I had to manage volunteers. And then third, it's just amazing when you get these people in a room and they talk about kids and talk about how to teach Deontay how to do algebra. It's just like, oh, but I think this, and we go back and forth, and it's a creative dialogue.
Right. Did
Yeah.
you feel a little uncomfortable, maybe a little nervous when you first started?
Oh,
out?
sure. I mean, that was the first time I'd been in high school in, a long time. It's specifically in the context of about to tutor students.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. There's a lot of, and we've really kind of refined that for our incoming volunteers. We want to train them. We were providing training from the very beginning, but it's becoming more sophisticated and streamlined.
When you're a rock star, you have an opportunity to build a strong relationship with students in your community. The difference between being a rock star and just another tutor is that you can connect with the people you're serving in ways that wouldn't otherwise be possible. Let's hear about one of those connections that John has made.
So I was tutoring at Como this spring in their Focus 9 program that is primarily staffed by Rockstar volunteers. And it was a delightful experience. These students that were in the program were struggling in school, close to failing. And we were brought in to try to help them focus on their work. I worked pretty closely with this one student, Guitar Vang, throughout the entire semester. And, we had a good relationship. I was going to Mexico, so I was going away for a week, and I told him as such. I asked Guitar if he wanted me to bring him any souvenirs from Mexico, and he told me that he wanted one of those big drinking gourds, and I was like, what? I was like, all right, if I find a drinking gourd, I'll bring you one. But I was totally skeptical that such a thing existed. But we were walking around in Mexico, and then we were in this one village, and lo and behold, there was this there was this gourd.
But building these relationships impacts not only the lives of the kids that you work with as a rock star, it also changes you. John continues.
I've changed in my contact with Rockstar, just being so much more attentive to the problems facing public school education in this country. What I've learned is how much the public school system needs to be addressed and be fixed. And the more I work with Rockstar Supply Company, the more I start to see myself not just as the teacher at Macalester College that's teaching this one small segment of the population, but I'm starting to see more of the problems of education in the United States.
My biggest piece of advice for tutors and teachers is to be always self-reflective. You can always be better at being a tutor. As a tutor, as a teacher, you need to be able to adapt to who your kids are, and that requires self-reflection. Eventually, one student does ask for your help, and that's kind of your opportunity to shine. And when they ask for help, you make sure you raise your voice, and you make sure that you go, okay, if you need to do that, you should be able to do this on this problem. And then a kid perks up and goes, I need help with 4 too. And your opportunities keep growing. And that's when, as a tutor, you need to shine. And you need to prove to the kids that you're helpful, that you're nice, and that you are in it for their interests.